let's talk about one of the most powerful tools in storytelling. See, when a character dies, we're trained to think of it as, well, the end, right? The story's over for them. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? What if a character's death isn't an ending at all, but the most powerful beginning a writer can possibly create? Today, we're going to flip the script on this idea and see how death is really a catalyst for a whole new story.
Right. It's not just about taking a player off the chessboard. It's about flipping the whole board over. The entire game changes. A single death can pivot the narrative, sending it spinning in a direction that was totally impossible just a moment before.
Okay, so to really get this, we have to draw a line in the sand. There's death in the real world, and then there's death inside a story. They might look the same, but trust me, they couldn't be more different. In life, it's final. But in fiction, it's a tool, a very specific, very powerful one.
I mean, think about it. In our own lives, death is this profound, heavy thing. It's the ultimate endpoint, and it forces us to stop and take things seriously. It has a real finality that you just can't ignore. It's the end of a chapter, full stop.
So that's real life. But in a story, that's a whole different ballgame. This is the big question for any writer, right? If death in reality is an absolute end, what is it doing in the carefully crafted world of a narrative? Is it just there to make us sad, or is it doing something more?
And the answer is, oh yeah, it's doing way more. In fiction, death isn't a period at the end of a sentence. It's a giant, bold exclamation point that forces you to turn the page. It's the ultimate turning point, the moment that can reshape everything that comes after.
Seriously, just think about your favorite stories for a second. Epic fantasies, superhero movies, crime thrillers. How many of them are kicked into high gear by a death? It's not an accident. That event is like a narrative engine, firing up and launching the plot into a totally new orbit.
And it sets off this incredible domino effect. So, step 1, a character dies. Okay, obvious. But then, look what happens next. All the relationships between the people left behind, they're shattered. They have to be completely rebuilt from the ground up. This, in turn, shoves the story down a brand new path with new goals and new problems. And get this, sometimes the shift is so massive, it can actually change the genre of the story. A lighthearted adventure could suddenly become a dark revenge quest.
So we've seen how death messes with the plot. But maybe even more important is what it does to the people left behind. It casts this long, dark shadow over the survivors, and that's where you find the real emotional gut punch of the story.
This brings us to a really cool idea called the shadow of death. Now, this isn't just about characters feeling sad for a little while. No, this is a fundamental change, like it gets written into their DNA. The death becomes a burden they have to carry, and it ends up dictating every choice they make from that point forward. It totally redefines who they are.
The change is just absolute. You can see it here. Before, a character might have all these personal goals, things they want for themselves. But after, their entire mission in life is now defined by that death. Their motivation is no longer personal, it's this heavy weight of duty, or maybe vengeance. They are literally not the same person anymore. Their world has been rocked to its core.
And that's the thing. This shadow isn't something they just get over. For a lot of characters, it's like a prison. It's the lens they see the entire world through for the rest of the story. They might be trapped in that moment, in that loss, right up until the very last page.
All right, so let's tie all these threads together. We've talked plot, we've talked characters. When you put it all together, what does this really tell us about the art of telling a great story?
It's this. A character's death is an act of creation. It sounds backwards, I know, but it doesn't actually take anything away from the story. It multiplies the possibilities. It generates new conflicts, new reasons to fight, new friendships, and brand new emotional stakes. It's a beginning.
So, let's wrap this up. When it's done right, a character's death is nothing short of a storytelling masterstroke. It grabs the steering wheel of the plot. It smashes all the character dynamics to pieces so they can be rebuilt into something new. And for us, the audience, it creates a completely fresh emotional journey. It proves, without a doubt, that in a story, the most final ending is almost always the most exciting new start. So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on, whether you're a writer dreaming up your own worlds or just someone who loves a good story. The next time you see a character meet their end, don't just ask, why did they have to die? Instead, ask yourself, what new story was just born?